Back in 1928, a lone mountaineer camping in the Karakoram Range notices a glowing object outside his tent. When he steps out and taps the ice-covered sphere with his pickaxe, a burst of light knocks him unconscious. When he awakens, the sphere has vanished, leaving only a strange scar on his skin. In 2008, Helen, an astrobiologist at Princeton, is suddenly taken by federal agents who refuse to explain why. She is transported with other experts to a military academy, where her friend Michael reveals that a mysterious object from space is on a collision course with Earth. Its trajectory is unnatural, it cannot be destroyed, and it is expected to strike Manhattan within an hour, an impact that could kill millions. Meanwhile, Helen's stepson Jacob stays behind with a neighbor as Helen is pulled into the emergency task force. After the briefing, Helen secretly calls Jacob from the bathroom and tells him to stay in the basement, but a sympathetic soldier lets the call slide. The scientists are taken to the projected impact site, where they prepare for what they think is an inevitable collision. Instead of crashing, a blazing sphere descends into Central Park, sending the city into chaos. The experts approach the glowing object as police and military surround it. Make sure to like the video! An alien emerges, but is immediately shot just as he reaches Helen. A giant robotic being follows, disabling all electronics with a powerful surge before halting at the alien's command. The wounded alien is rushed to a military research facility, where the team struggles to treat him until Helen insists they call a surgeon to remove the bullet. The surgeon removes the bullet and is stunned to find the alien's anatomy almost entirely human. The gray outer layer of his body begins to split, revealing a fully human-looking form beneath. The alien is moved to a secure containment pod, where he wakes in panic until Helen calms him. His face matches the mountaineer who vanished in 1928, and at first, he can only repeat Helen's words. Outside, global panic grows. Markets close, cities empty, and evacuations begin. With top leaders in hiding, Secretary of Defense Regina takes command. She learns that the aliens have hacked a classified satellite and that more glowing spheres are landing around the world. Lab analysis reveals the alien's body contains human DNA protected by an organic outer shell, suggesting previous alien visits. When the team visits him, the alien now speaks perfect English, confirms he's still adapting to his new form, and responds only to Helen's calm questioning. Klaatu, the injured alien, introduces himself as a representative of multiple advanced civilizations and asks for a UN meeting to address the world's leaders. But Regina refuses and orders him sedated with truth serum and moved to a high-security site. The scientists argue that he may be the greatest discovery in history, but Regina insists he is a threat. Helen intervenes, promising to handle the injection, then secretly swaps the truth serum with harmless saline. Regina informs Klaatu of his transfer, dismissing his explanation that the robot reacted only to violence. When Helen administers the fake serum, she quietly urges him to escape. After she is taken away, Klaatu is strapped into a chair for a lie detector interrogation. He gives vague answers before overriding the machine and electrocuting the agent operating it. Klaatu seizes control of the stunned agent's mind, forces him to reveal an escape route, and takes his uniform. He then hacks into the security cameras, locates all guards, and knocks them out with an ultrasonic pulse. As alarms erupt, he slips away. During the chaos, Helen pockets a sample of his gray outer tissue, while Regina launches a full-scale hunt for the escaped alien. Klaatu reaches a crowded train station, uses his abilities to get food, and observes how quickly people become hostile. Suddenly weakened, he collapses in a restroom. Helen receives a call from someone claiming to be her patient, realizes it's Klaatu, and picks him up. Jacob is rude to the alien, but Klaatu asks for the removed gray tissue and instantly heals his wound with it. Meanwhile, the robot in Central Park awakens, takes control of all surrounding weapons, and destroys the military's hardware effortlessly. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Following Klaatu's directions, Helen drives him and Jacob away from the city. Jacob, upset and scared, insists aliens should be destroyed and claims his father would have fought them. When they arrive at their destination, Jacob steps away, and Klaatu quietly asks Helen about his past. She explains that Jacob's biological mother died at childbirth, his father was a military engineer, and after she married him, he also passed away, leaving Jacob in her care. Klaatu and Helen stop at a fast food place so he can meet Mr. Wu, an alien who has lived on Earth for 70 years. Mr. Wu admits humans often act violently and refuse to change, but he also believes they show compassion and hope. Though Klaatu warns him to leave before the mission proceeds, Mr. Wu chooses to remain with the family he has built. Meanwhile, the military seals the robot in Central Park with heavy protective panels and labels Klaatu a dangerous fugitive after receiving countless sighting reports. Helen, Klaatu, and Jacob travel toward New Jersey. In a forest, Klaatu steps out and Helen follows him. She sees a swarm of strange creatures that lead her to a lake, where Klaatu triggers a protocol that activates every alien sphere worldwide. Helen rushes back, but Jacob panics, thinking she wants Klaatu to replace his father, and he runs into the woods. She follows, and they both stop when they see a bright beam as alien spheres rise and leave Earth, except for the one Klaatu arrived in. Klaatu returns from the forest and insists Helen take him back to the city. When she refuses without answers, he finally tells her the truth. Humans are destroying a rare, life-supporting planet, and he has come to save Earth by wiping out humanity. The process, he says, has already begun and can't be stopped. Helen is horrified and begs him to believe that people can change. But Klaatu says humans have had endless chances and never truly did. A police officer then spots them, draws his gun, and orders them to surrender. Jacob pleads with Klaatu not to hurt him. Klaatu throws the car at the officer to stop him, but then uses alien energy to bring him back, saying he didn't mean lasting harm. Helen still hopes to change his mind and decides to take him to someone who might influence him. Meanwhile, intelligence agencies studying the sphere recordings realize each orb is carrying animals off the planet, acting like modern arks. This means a worldwide reset is coming. As chaos and riots spread, the military moves the giant robot into a buried missile silo. Helen then brings Klaatu to Carl, a Nobel Prize-winning scientist she trusts to reason with him. Klaatu corrects a formula on Carl's board, and as they work together, Carl realizes Klaatu is the alien being hunted. Carl argues that humans deserve more time to change, which makes Klaatu pause. But helicopters suddenly arrive. Klaatu, Helen, and Jacob flee into the forest, where Jacob confesses he called the authorities, thinking it's what his father would do. As he breaks down, helicopters capture Helen, while Klaatu disables the rest and saves Jacob from falling into a river. Jacob finally agrees to go with him. Helen is taken to Regina, begging to be released because Klaatu trusts her, but Regina refuses. At the military base, soldiers test the giant robot, which suddenly breaks apart into swarms of destructive nanobots. The creatures spread rapidly, consuming the entire facility and everything in their path. Attempts to destroy the swarm fail, and Regina learns it is expanding across the landscape, reducing buildings, including a massive stadium, to dust within seconds. Regina realizes the crisis is out of control and releases Helen, sending Michael with her to find Klaatu. In the woods, Klaatu brings Jacob to a cabin where he calls Helen. After arranging a meeting point, they head to the cemetery where Jacob asks Klaatu to revive his father. Klaatu gently explains he cannot bring back someone long dead, and Jacob breaks down just as Helen arrives. Reunited, Helen and Jacob comfort each other, finally accepting their loss and choosing to move forward as a real family. Seeing their reconciliation, Klaatu begins to believe that humans can change, and decides to try stopping the deadly swarm. Meanwhile, the nanobots devour New York City, and a panicked president orders renewed military attacks. Helen, Jacob, Klaatu, and Michael race back toward the city and the last remaining sphere. Soldiers block the roads, but Klaatu has Michael drive through as troops receive new orders to fall back. Klaatu, Helen, and Jacob reach Central Park just as the president's bombing run hits, flipping their vehicle and killing Michael. The three escape the burning wreck, but the nanobot swarm quickly engulfs the area, forcing them to hide under a bridge. Jacob collapses with heavy bleeding, and Helen begins to suffer the same fate. Klaatu explains the swarm is consuming them internally, and Helen begs him to save them. Realizing in that moment that humanity can change, Klaatu draws the nanobots out of their bodies and absorbs them himself. He walks into the heart of the swarm and reaches the sphere, sacrificing himself to neutralize the nanobots. As the dead particles fall, all technology across the world shuts down. Helen and Jacob emerge to see the sphere rise into the sky, and Jacob quietly wonders if a part of Klaatu still remains within it. Thanks for watching, and please share this video with your friends.